All right, what is going on, YouTube people? It is the beginning of day 3 at the old Fanatics Fest. It is 30 minutes before the show floor opens. Over there is the VIP people waiting to get in. And then over here is the general lobby. The Starbucks is fairly busy. Outside there, down on that lower level, is where they funnel the general admission folks through. So if you have general admission, they send you in through the bottom, and then down that general direction is a big ass room that they just kind of hold people in and then bring them upstairs once the show floor opens. Very similar to how New York Comic Con works in regards to access to the building. I have generally found at these larger events, unless you need to be first in the door for something, you're actually better off to just honestly wait about 15 minutes, maybe even 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour to enter the venue. And you just have a lot less nonsense to deal with that way. So, day 3, I am not planning on doing a full day at the show today. It is only open till 4 today, so it is a shorter day. My plan is to kind of stay in through maybe about lunch or so. I think I'm going to try to grab another set of Topps Chrome boxes. I did manage to acquire, through undisclosed means, another line skip pass. So I'm not going to run the first thing in the morning. I'm going to try to do what I did yesterday and wait a couple of hours and then see if I could use the fast pass to basically just walk up. This morning, I'll see if I could get you all some footage of the chaos that is grown men running for exclusive Topps Chrome boxes to make 50 bucks, flipping them as soon as they walk out of the line. We'll see what we can do on that. It's kind of like a little bit of the Discovery Channel of like lions eating each other. It's interesting. So my main goal today is just really kind of see what it's like in here on a Sunday. Friday, as I've discussed in other videos, was middling in regards to traffic. It wasn't dead by any means. I know people keep trying to push this narrative from afar that the show is not busy at all. It wasn't slammed on Friday by any means, but it was busy-ish. About what I expected for the first day of this show ever. Remember, this is their first time out of the gates. Saturday was way busier. It wasn't New York Comic Con busy, it wasn't peak national busy, but it was pretty darn busy. And dealers that I've talked to seem to have had a pretty good show for the most part. That's kind of what I want to do this morning, is really focus in on the card section, kind of talk to some dealers, and also see if there's anything else that I want to buy. I picked up 2 cards on day 1. I haven't bought anything since. Pricing's a little juiced, but I guess that's to be expected given the venue that we're in. So I'm not super surprised by that, to see pricing a little bit higher on stuff. But that being said, transactions are definitely happening. And the dealer feedback that I have seen on social and talking to people seems to be pretty good. So those are the plans for today. I'm going to go ahead and roam over to that VIP section and get ready to head on in. And like I said, I'll see if I could get some footage of the hobby in its natural format, which is running for show exclusives, which is kind of amusing. So we'll pick back up from there and see how today goes. All right, they're about to unleash the hounds here. People are gathering. All right. One of the dumber things that they do here is not open the doors all the way and force everyone to squeeze through a little tiny thing when there are very large double doors there that they could just open, I don't know, 10 more feet to make this a lot more non-life-threatening. Yeah. So there you see people doing the fast walk to where they want to run, but they don't want to be seen running in public for sports cards. So they do the speed walk, if you will. And you can see there they are. Look at them swarming. Here we are watching the average card collector in their natural habitat of waiting in long lines to run to buy exclusive product, to then immediately sell as soon as you walk out for a little bit of profit. The things that we will do for 20%. Down there is the chaos. That is where the carcass is. It's like a dead zebra in the middle of a field. And look at the lions and the hyenas swarm to it. It is feeding time in the hobby. And what is on the menu, ladies and gentlemen? Big Apple refractors is what's on the menu. So the door is literally just open. You saw me walk in. And here it is. Feeding time. There's a little
no, you gotta do it. Come on, like
end of line guy there. They got an end of line sign finally. And it's already roping through. And set up.
no exhibitors right now. No
So
the line is right over here.
So over here is the general admission line. If you do not have
VIP is over
a
there.
line skip
If you have to skip the line of pass.
over here
You can get on this line.
is the skip the line pass. I will be honest, this is way more organized than it was on Friday. Friday, this was an absolute disaster. Today, it's a little bit better. They seem to have figured things out a little bit. They're looping the line a lot better. But this is the problem, not the problem, but this is why you're better off actually waiting just a little bit. Because the door's open and everyone runs in, and everyone wants to use their skip the line pass. So the skip the line pass just has a line. There's a line to skip the line. If that makes sense, that's the world that we live in 2024. But if you do what I did yesterday, and like I said, they do have a cap, so the boxes could sell out. It's a little bit of a risk. But what my plan is to go walk the show floor for a little bit, come back, and hopefully just walk right up. Because the way that this works is they take like a 4-to-1 ratio, essentially, like 4 people from the VIP line checkout for every 1 person from general admission. I shouldn't say VIP, skip the line. And once again, the issue on Friday is that everybody lined up in one massive line together, for better or for worse, and they didn't actually collect the passes. So we will check back in on this later. I'm going to head over to the card section and actually look at cards and not feed on the young. Okay, and this is why we waited an hour and 45 minutes. So it's not 10:45, actually only about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. This is the end of the line for the general admission stuff. It wraps all the way through there and all the way around the booth. This, about 5 or 6 people that you see standing in front of me here is the skip the line. So I'm gonna go turn my badge in and wait in line for probably about 5 minutes. And just like that, we are out of the line. Took less than 5 minutes, and we got another hobby and blaster box. So I'm up to 3 hobbies and 3 blasters now. I'm not planning on flipping them. I'm just gonna rip them. We'll rip them for content later in the week. But yeah, so like I said in yesterday's video, day 1, and I said this earlier, day 1, that system was not working at all. Day 2 and 3, it actually has worked the way you would kind of expect it to. So, hobby luminary Gary V on the main stage doing a talk. Maybe I'll sit down and learn some words of wisdom. Okay, so a little Sunday morning update. It is 11 a.m. So the show floor has only been open for about an hour, hour and a half. I'm way down on the end of the building here, so this is basically up against the wall, and then you have the whole thing out that way. And I'm back in the corner. PSA is right behind me. One, it's definitely a much more mellow vibe in here today. It's busier than what the National was on Sunday, that's for sure. But it's definitely more like Friday's crowd, maybe a little lighter. It's definitely a little bit more like a quieter mood in here, a little bit more chill, which is actually kind of nice walking around. So I've walked through this entire middle section of dealers, and as I get closer to this wall, the more pessimistic they got about this as a show. So I don't know that the dealers on the ends specifically this row, have had as great a time as some of the others. Most of the dealers that I talked to this morning, and I probably talked to about a dozen, just in casual conversation, and also listening in as like some dealers talk to other dealers, most of them seem like they had a pretty good show. Like it was not like we lost our asses or anything like that. They might not have crushed it. They might not have made as much profit as like the National, but all of them, or I shouldn't say all of them, probably 85% of the dealers that I've spoken to this morning so far are definitely in the, this was a good show for us. A lot of them are trying to restock inventory for Burbank this morning because that shows in like a week or two. I think it's actually next weekend. But the dealers towards the end, I think, are not as optimistic about this event because basically, just like anything else, the further you get out from the center, the more or the less the foot traffic gets. And also by the time people get to you, they've been looking at cards all morning. They may have spent a decent chunk of their money already. The other narrative from talking to dealers this morning, one of the questions I've been asking them was, are you getting people kind of coming over from the experience side that don't know a ton about cards that are looking at cards? And the vibe has been yes, that they are seeing some people come over doing a lot of like education basically. They are doing some people buying their first card type stuff, and that's what Ruben wanted. So was it a success from that standpoint? And there's really no way to know that, but I have heard that narrative from a few different people that I've talked to throughout the weekend, that a lot of people were coming over, like I said, looking at their first card or asking a lot of questions, not understanding cards. One interesting note that a couple dealers mentioned, they said they can tell when non-card people come over and are buying cards because their first instinct is to whip out a credit card to try to pay for it. And obviously, as we all know, cash business. We don't. Credit cards are not the thing that you typically see. So that's been a telling sign for them, is the number of people that want to buy like a $100 card, and their gut instinct is to whip out a Visa card to try to pay for it. But all right, update again in a little bit. All right, I am winding down here at the show, getting ready to head out, go grab some lunch with the wife, get some pizza. Sunday has filled out way more. I did the updates earlier this morning. It is now about 20 after 1, and the hobby section of the show floor is a lot busier than what it was this morning. Kind of shoot down some of the side aisles here to let you guys see what's going on. But yeah, things have definitely filled out a little bit. Definitely not as busy as yesterday for sure. And I continue to get extremely varied feedback from dealers on how this show has done for them. I've gotten, I would never set up here again, and I've already told them I'll do whatever in regards to signing up for future shows because it's been good. And then I've had a lot of people in the middle where they didn't do crazy business, but they didn't lose their asses either. So it has been a wide-ranging mix of feedback from the dealers in regards to what's been moving and how things have been going for them. One interesting comment from a few dealers is they are definitely pulling people over from the experience side that don't know anything about cards. They've done a lot more, dealers have commented that they've done a lot more dealer education for people in regards to cards. You can see we have a big break by Blaise being on the hobby main stage right now. So I think from that side, that was Fanatics' goal, was to get non-collectors onto the card side. Whether they formally convert or not, I don't know. Was this event a success? From Fanatics' standpoint, it was going to be a lost leader for them no matter what, just because of the nature of the beast. But it was a good show to attend. I had a lot of fun. I got to hang out with a bunch of cool people. I got to see a bunch of cool stuff. So I got no complaints there at all. Most people that are attending seem to be having a pretty good time, like from an attendee perspective. And there's two different aspects there. There's the dealer side of it and the attendee side of it. I think people attending this show had a pretty good time. I don't know what is going on at the Topps booth right now, but it is chaos over there. The WWE booth, as always, the biggest winner of this event by a mile. The VIP bag sucked. The VIP experience, not great. They did some make goods on that throughout the week. Things got better throughout the weekend. It's their first time out. I'd expect some hiccups on that stuff. And I made comments on that before the event started, that I expected things not to go 100% smoothly, which is fine. And they could do better on the next one. They definitely need to fix some things on the show floor as well from the dealer side point. That stuff could be more centrally located, better dealer maps, etc. We'll do a full recap on that stuff once I get home. So that's a wrap from the show floor. The only cards I bought were on Friday. I bought 2 cards on Friday, and I haven't bought anything since, singles-wise. I bought my allotment of wax each day for the Topps Chrome boxes, for the hobby boxes and the blasters, and 2 singles. I got the Dumb Lids box, and but I didn't come here looking for cards per se. And I guess from an attendee perspective, that's fine. From a dealer perspective, I don't know if that's what they want to hear. So we'll see what future Fanatics events look like. For their first time off the rip, this feels pretty okay. And I think that's one thing we all have to keep in mind. This was their first time doing this. Was it a little rushed? For sure. But they have time to fix it. It sounds like there's going to be 2 more of these, that they're basically locked into a 3-year deal here at Javits, potentially even on the same weekends in mid to late August. So they're going to get a chance to figure it out and do it again. But we'll see what they can do. A good first time out. Like I said, plenty of things they can improve, and we'll dissect all those things once we get back to home base. We got a bunch of racks to rip. I didn't flip any of it. I kept it all. But that is a wrap from Fanatics Fest. It is very much the event that I kind of thought that it was going to be. And I look forward to being back in this building in just a few months for New York Comic Con. And New York Comic Con, I'll do some video footage of New York Comic Con. That building, or this building for that, is insane compared to this. This is the kids' pool for what this building looks like for an event when you get in here for New York Comic Con. But, all right, that's it. I gotta go get some pizza and get packed up, and we are hitting the road bright and early tomorrow morning. So we're gonna go explore the city today and check things out, do some shopping, and get packed up and head home. So that's all I got for you, boys and girls. We will catch you back at home base sometime this week. Peace.